Hello, everyone, and welcome to Friday Night's Live. So, as always, we're going to give a few minutes for people to start arriving. Hopefully, a few more people will come in tonight. Um, I don't know how many people are going to be in tonight because of the fine weather. People could be away with their friends and family and stuff. So, we'll just wait and see. We'll wait and see what happens. Um, one person online already, but we'll wait and see how many people come in. I have a few items to show today that arrived in the post. So, hopefully, that'll be good. Um, And that's it, sure. So we'll just chill out for a few minutes till people start arriving, or if people start turning up, and then we'll start talking about what arrived in the post. And that's it. Could do with getting a drink though. It's absolutely sweltering in here today. Um, I hope you've all had a good weekend. I hope you're all enjoying the weather. Um, we've had massive thunderstorms and rainstorms here now today, so let's hope that they will go away. Although it has been very, very hot, extremely hot. So we'll wait and see what happens. So it's what time is it now? 8:05. So people should start turning up now soon. So when guys start turning up, we'll start talking about what I have. I have got stuff arrived in the post today actually. Um, so we can cover that. I need your help with one or two bits in it. I'm not 100% sure on it. But other stuff I am definitely sure of. But there's some interesting bits and bobs in it. So hopefully people will be able to help me with some of the items. Um, so yeah, so people are starting to slowly drift in. Um, if you hold on for 2 seconds, guys, I'm just going to go get a glass of water. It's absolutely sweltering. So, guys, we're back. I just had to get a glass of water. I'm absolutely parched. World War Bricks, how are you? Can't take this weather too much. No, it's extremely warm. Jim, how are you? Welcome as well. Yeah, it's extremely warm. Although my area where I live, we've had massive thunder and lightning storms. I suppose for the last hour and a half. So hopefully my internet won't go down. If it does, we'll have to come back online again. Padraig, how are you? Just getting a cup of was WWB. I think I'm going to dry like a chip. Yeah, it's so bloody warm. It is very, very warm. Um, sorry, I don't know if many of our English companions will be in today. Well, no, Jim is here. Well, Jim is in Poland, if I remember. But it is just so bloody warm here today, and I'm sure that they have stuff to do as well. It has been Friday night, and Friday night people do like to spend time with their families as well. But as I said earlier on in the live stream, I actually got some items in the post today, so we will discuss them when people start arriving. We'll give it till about 20 past, and we'll discuss them. There's some mainly off banner stuff, one or two other little interesting items um, that we have here as well. That hopefully you will be able to see. Um, any new pickups? How do you mean pickups? No, World War Bricks. I'm not sure what you mean by pickups. A chap actually that was in the live sent me a headset and a Morse code key. He said he was going to send it. I got it, and I've actually tried to see can I fit it to my Coleman. I must actually try and see if I can fit it to my Clansman. And we'll wait and see how things go. I have a few bits that should be arriving in the post soon. That's fantastic, World War Bricks. I'm a Scot who, very dare you, just sound English as I forced to live in London as a child. Oh, okay. Andrew, how are you? How are you? Uh, so that's it. What time have we now? It's just 10 past, so we'll give it another few minutes. But yeah, it's the the collection. Um, Thankfully, amazingly, people are getting in contact with me via email and stuff, and they're asking, would you like this? Do you want this? And we're doing a bit of horse trading and swapping. I've answered a few emails before I went on live and stuff. So if you have emailed me, I have emailed you back today, this evening, and I try and keep in contact with all my comments as well. Um, so that's pretty much it. But in collecting wise, I the last 2 weeks pretty much I've been trying to be quiet in relation to collecting. But this stuff that I got today, I had ordered a long time ago by a guy that I deal with a lot in the north in relation to banner stuff, and it was a bit of, like that, a bit of horse trading went on, and I got these items, and so that's it. I have was trying to do some shooting of videos and stuff today as well to have them lined up, and that's coming up in relation to the restoration project for the East German helmet. I'm not 100% happy with the paint um, that I got. It's very green, the paint I got, and the paint on the helmet is a bit of a grey. So I hopefully will try and get more paint tomorrow. There's a shop nearby that does those military types of spray paints. So I'm literally going to bring the helmet under one arm, and I'm going to walk in and see can I get a paint that matches it near enough that. Um, so yeah, so that's it. So have any of you guys any questions or any comments before I start showing you the stuff that's arrived today? I'll give you 1 or 2 minutes there. Oh my god, that water's. I know it's Ribena or it's diluted, but it's nice. 5 SA80 frogs for £5. £5 each or £5 for the lot? A pound each. That would be fairly good, alright. Looking forward to seeing the new kit. Yeah, well, the new kit pretty much there's nothing major in it. But we'll start with this piece, I suppose. This is the last pattern of the flak jacket that was used in Northern Ireland. It's got the name tape on it, and the plates from the Northern Ireland improved body armor actually fits in these. Um, so this is what we've had for this arrived today. Now it's still got its lining. It doesn't have its plates, but I do have a set of plates from my enhanced Northern Ireland body armor, so I can put that in it. I was trying to Google the batch number today to try and find a date on it, but I wasn't 100% sure. It's definitely after Soldier 95 anyway. That was a Soldier 95 change around when that stuff came in. So, yeah. So, good evening, David. How are you? Welcome. What else have we? World War Bricks. I bought a huge World War One, World War Two family group to an officer in the Royal Field Artillery and to his son in the Navy during World War Two. Very nice. Fantastic. That's fantastic purchase to get. So next thing we have now. This is the one that I'm not sure of. Some of you might be able to help me with this one. Now, if you look at the cap edge. Now this could be have been made up. Now it cost me, I think it was €2, £2. So I'm not worried about it really, the price of it. But if you look at the cap edge, right, cap edge actually has Arabic writing on it. Okay, but then when you look at the inside of it, it's made in London. I'm not actually 100% sure what the story is with that cap badge or that beret. I don't know if any of you have ever seen that cap badge before. But yeah, so that's one that arrived. The next one that arrived is Blues and Royals to the Army Air Corps. Now, if any of you are into, I suppose, royal history or history in general, now I normally don't put on berets, but I'll just show you that this has been shaped to a certain degree. But that was the way that Prince Harry ended up as an Apache pilot. Was he was Blues and Royals and then ended up in this. Now I wouldn't be silly enough to say that that's his beret, but I'm just saying that's the way that he ended up in the Army Air Corps. One second, we just check a few questions. Ralph, good evening, sir. Do you also have World War II red berets? I have a 50s para beret. I don't actually have any World War II berets. I have a World War II General Service cap, which looks like a beret, but that would be my only beret I have from World War II. Is that not the Guards flash on the blue beret? It is the Guards flash. Well, it's not actually the Guards flash. It's the Guards. If I remember correctly, the Guards division. But there's certain regiments that wear that behind it, like the Irish Guards, the Welsh Guards, the Grenadier Guards, Coldstream Guards, the Blues and Royals, the Coldstream Guards. They all wear that backing behind their cap badge. So that's that. Yeah, it is. I think it's the Guards Division. I think it's called. Um, Hudson and Son and Company and Sons are massive bread makers back in the day. All right, maybe I don't know. I don't know. Now it has been shaped and it has been worn, so I don't know. And it is Arabic writing on the actual cap badge. So I'm not 100. I don't have a bull's notion. And as I said, it was only the equivalent of a couple of pounds, like £3. So I'm not 100% sure what that is. The next one then is an officer's or a senior NCO's. Sorry, a piece of felt on it, piece of paper. Is a officers or senior officers or senior NCO's Royal Artillery beret, and this one I believe is from the late 70s due to the badge on the inside or the tag on the inside, and it is made by Congo Limited, and also it has been shaped. As I said, I don't like wearing berets, but I will just show you if I'm not part of the regiment. And this has the leather band on it as well, so that would be definitely the later or the earlier version of the beret. So where are we going? Blue, maroon, blue. Yeah. Did the Welsh Guards wear that beret too? No, the Welsh Guards didn't wear that beret. The Welsh Guards wear a tan beret, like this color beret. They wear that type of a color with that blue with this backing, if you get me, and they wear a leek as their cap badge. That's what they actually wear. The Welsh Guards wear anyway. Just picked up 2 DF Padre coats, 2 parade jackets, 1 FCA. Oh, sorry, 2 DF Padre coats, 2 or parade coats, 2 parade jackets, 1 FCA, and 1 DF, all ranking from the 50s, or sorry, from the 74 to 83. All come from a great surplus store near St. James. Very good. I presume St. James isn't in Ireland, because if St. James was in Ireland, they shouldn't be selling PDF stuff or army stuff in general. We're all black infantry berets. We're all British infantry berets after 1948 black. No, they weren't. They weren't. I think it was the 50s that if they were. They were a dark blue, rather than black. And the regiments that started changing colours, the Irish regiments started wearing Glengarry's, or not the Glengarry's, the green felt beret with the plume behind it, and different regiments had different plumes, or heckles, shall we say. The Ulster Rifles was a black heckle. The Royal Irish was a green heckle. I'm trying to think what other regiments had different colour berets. The military police wore the peak cap up until the 60s with the red cover on it. Uh, Military collectibles, how are you? I'm trying to think what other regiments that wore a different colour. Obviously, the Paras always had their beret, the maroon beret. They had never changed colours. Royal Marines always had the bottle green beret. Um, yeah, so it would depend on each individual regimental history, when they wore different colour berets. Uh, St James's Hospital. Right, okay. Where have we gone? Military collectibles. Evening. Beret could be Jordanian forces, which would explain the British beret. Hobson sold them to the commercial market. I might, Nick, how are you? Welcome. I might actually Google it. If I can take a picture of the cap badge and actually Google it. It could be Jordanian. You know, there you go. That's the cap badge. And there we have the manufacturer, obviously, on the inside. Yeah, there's another beret. Then this beret. Now, this one has been heavily damaged and repaired. You can actually see there's a stitch going right across the top of it. Now, this one, I'm not actually 100% sure neither that it's the right cap edge to the right beret, because I believe that is the black one is the Mercian regiment. Sorry, not the Mercian. The the Mercian regiment, I think, isn't it? Had that black on it? I'd have to double check off the top of my head. But I think that's the transport corps or the logistics corps. That cap edge. You might be able to tell me again. Um, another, that's another interesting one. And as I said, it only cost a couple of pounds, so I'm not too worried about it. If it is wrong, it can always be repaired. Now, the beret itself has been heavily used. There's holes there in it. There's a stitch repair there in it. Now, I'm not actually sure if the stitch is done that way to give the beret shape. The beret itself has been definitely worn a lot and used a lot. So you can actually see the stitching runs that way, so that actually gives it its shape. So that's what I'm not sure what that should be. We'll answer a few more questions. Evening all, Nick James. My father wore a dark blue one for the King KRR, the Royal Green Jackets now. So I wear green during his national service 1951. It looked dark blue to me. Yeah, they were dark navy blue. Guards wore khaki berets, still do. Yes, they do. Old My old corps RLC formed in 1993. Oh, okay. Royal. So that's what that one is. It the Royal Logistics Corps. Is that right? If I'm correct. Is it on the correct beret as well? I don't know. Dead Bellow Brett David. And then the last beret that came is Royal Military Police. Worn as well. Very well shaped. Um, and this one has the lining has been completely taken off it, but it's got the leather band and it's got those marks that I was telling you people look for. No, I actually believe this could be females because there is actually makeup along the sweatband. So, yeah, another little interesting way for you to tell if the beret has been used or not. She left her foundation all over the beret. So, we have a few more items to cover. Nothing major. Just a armband, medic's armband. We've got 2 field dressings. This one is the newest, I believe. That one is actually made in September 2010. And then this one is made in June 2008. And then the resistance that arrived. Any of you know what this is? We'll give you 5 minutes to answer the quiz. Must tape that down actually. But will anyone know what this is? We'll give you 5 minutes to answer the quiz. I'll show you the inside of it as well. So that's the quiz for now. We'll give you 5 minutes to come up with questions. We've got lots of ex-servicemen will be yelling when they see the military police berry. Yes, cherry berries they're known as. Not the most famous group in the world. RAC helmet. Yeah, you're sorted there. It's not quite right. Armored Corps. Yeah, you're getting along the correct thing. Yeah. It's actually quite comfortable fitting helmet compared to, and it's got the sock on the inside of it, so it's not actually. You probably sweat the bejesus out yourself inside it though. But I haven't seen Stan actually. Is Stan in tonight? I should do a drinking helmet. I don't know where he wears his drinking tunics. Armored, yeah. Yeah, so I'll put you out of your misery. Yes, it is an armored helmet, but this is an armored helmet with history. This is an armored helmet with a story. This did come from the north. It was robbed out of, well, it wasn't robbed. It was got out of a barracks, but it was got out of a para barracks. And what would happen was, because the para helmet had this big chin strap that you had to close back here or whatever, so the paras would wear these ones, would get their hands on these, and they would jerry rig them to para helmets. There's actually pictures you can see. This is all documented on photographic pictures and stuff. But the paras would wear these just as a quick way of putting on their helmet, rather than having this big chin strap thingy. They would just use this, have the chin strap there or whatever, and then if they needed to put on the helmet, because the paras were famous for wearing berets, but if they needed something more protective, this was what they would use. So that's what that is, guys. It is an actual Royal Armoured Corps helmet. You would see Saracen drivers, Fox drivers, people like that wearing that. But that's the history behind that. I'll do a big video with the para helmet, and I will explain what was going on. Para helmet, yeah, you're sort of half right. Armoured Corps, yeah, you were right, David. Armoured Corps, armoured, yeah. The net is interesting. The net on the helmet, yeah, the net on the helmet. It was obviously done by somebody himself. Now, I did find a date on this, and it is named to Chris Wilson. I don't know if you see the name on the inside there now, guys, with the camera. When I do a video on this properly, I'll show you the markings and stuff on it. And the date is there on it, 1971. So yeah, there we go. Amalgamation of Royal Corps of Transport, Pioneer Corps, Army Catering Corps, Royal Army Ordnance Corps, Royal Engineers Postal Service, and Royal Logistics Corps. That's what that is it? This one? The Royal Army Catering Corps? I think, or the Royal Catering, I can't remember what the thing is. I must look that up as well. Stan is not feeling well, not corona, but he is crook at the moment. All right, no problem. Would your seller have many looking for one myself? Looking for a para helmet? Looking for this? They're very hard to get. They're very rare. I just happen to get this by sheer luck, and the condition of it is fantastic. And you can actually see where he's sort of painted it, camoed it a small bit as well. Um, Kenny, hello, how are you? The badge is amalgamation. The badge is amalgamation of the old core badges. Okay, thanks very much. Yes, Royal Logistics Corps badge and the beret. Okay, so that's the Royal Logistics Corps. Okay, that's fantastic. Um, yeah, okay. So I know what that one is. No, the two only one that we still have the question about that we don't know is that one, but we'll figure it out. Logistics beret. Logistics beret should be black or blue. Oh, okay, so this should be black or blue. All right, well, we'll do some researching and we'll find out, and we'll figure it out. Now I believe this too. It's either a reproduction or it's a newer version because you can actually see the cross. It's actually stamped onto it compared to an original one that I have here. I can just grab it. So, see the way that is literally just like a stamp. No, it probably could be regulated. Just obviously it was an economic thing on it. But when you see an original one, it's actually stitched. It's actually stitched into it. So, and it's a lot smaller too compared to the real one. Not sure how bad can do for a display or something. Is that Saudi cap badge you just showed? We don't know, Kenny. We're not sure. Um, Military Collectibles thinks it might be Jordanian, but I'm not sure. It's definitely got Arabic writing on it. But the thing about it is the beret is English. The beret is actually London. It was made in London. So we're not 100% sure. No, that's the question for today. If attached, would they change to match the formation they were in? If who were changed, I know certain cores, all right, will change. Will ask you to change your beret, like or Oman. Yeah, it could be Oman. I have an Army Medical Corps officer that was obviously attached to the Royal Irish and was asked to wear their. See, that's the Royal Army Medical Corps cap badge, but it is on a Glengarry. So he was obviously attached to the Royal Irish and was asked or told, whatever way they want to put it, you're wearing our Glengarry, you're not wearing your beret. And I have a medics one from the airborne as well. So they were obviously now this I believe is the maroon is actually a way to tell that they're part of the air assault or air mobile or whatever is the division rather than the actual beret itself. So it does happen where guys are told or change their beret from their family unit to a unit that they're attached to. Yeah, that's what I think as well. Military Collectibles. I thought it was on an Anglican regiment beret because I do have an Anglican beret, but I'm not 100% sure. Um, but the badge itself looks like it's been there for a long time. So, and I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Like you can actually see the mark of the badge where the badge has been worn on the beret. So I'm not sure. I don't know unless there were as unless it, like that there were it was an attachment to them. I don't know. I don't know. Uh, Medical bracelets from which country were they? Wait, I'm not 100% sure what you mean, Ralph, by medical bracelets. I had option of pulling my RLC badge on. I had the option of putting my RLC badge on a Royal Irish working dress. green beret. Okay, so yeah, so you do have the option, I suppose, if you get changed. I was Royal Anglican CCF, and we had sand berets just like that. Yeah, I do have a Royal Anglican beret, or an Anglican beret, with their cap badge on. If I can find it easily enough. I don't know if I can find it easily enough though. No, that's not seeing. It is here somewhere. But yeah, so look, we'll it is the $1,000,000 question at the minute anyway. I'm not sure if it is on the right beret. Um, Armbands. Oh, the medical armbands. That one is American. That one I'm not sure of. There's no, and it's the reason I don't think it's modern is because there's actually Velcro on it, whereas this one has got like the little pop buttons. So, and as you can actually see the stitching here on the back as well, where the cross is stitched on, compared to this one where it's just stamped onto it. Um, there was a carpet beetle in my 1944 tank beret, worse than moths. That can I do about that? Put it into the freezer. Into the freezer. Leave it in there for a few days, and then it depends how bad they've eaten it. But you could bring it to a proper seamstress or a proper tailor's and try and see can they darn hole the holes closed. Um, that'd be about it. But put it into a freezer for a long time, 4 or 5 days, as cold as you could possibly, like a deep freeze or something like that, to kill um if kill the beetles if it laid eggs and stuff like that, or if anything else is there. Where have we gone? Definitely not Jordanian or Saudi or Egyptian. Could be East Asian rather than Arabic. I don't know if it's East Asian. It looks like there's Arabic writing on it. I don't know if you see the scroll here underneath. If you can see that scroll, it looks like there's Arabic writing. Um, I don't have a bull's notion what it is. Could be Thai actually. Thai writing looks like that. Maybe. I do have a friend that is from Thailand that I could ask and see does she know what it is. Freezer low temp kills them. Yeah, that's the best thing they've. Or Ralph, was it Ralph? Yeah, it was Ralph. Um, that's the best thing you can do with them. Yeah, so that's everything that arrived today. I'm really happy though with my little helmet, um, which is fantastic. Fits me quite well actually. These actually, I think it was Military Collectibles was saying before that an awful lot of these were taken um, when reenacting was kicking off, and para helmets couldn't be got, or original para helmets couldn't be got, and an awful lot of these were doctored with the chin straps to use for para reenacting during the reenacting circuit, I suppose you could call it. Yeah, so that's it really. Yes, that stuff is right. Oh, this shirt came actually as well. No, I'm not 100% sure about this as well, but it does have, and it looks like a badge on it, and it has been hand stitched onto it. Um, and it is an American shirt. But as for the time frame and the era and stuff like that, I don't know. I don't know. Can you see that there, guys? That did come as well. Update RLC badge is correct for Beret. It's 168 Regimental RLC Reserve Regiment formed in 1996 from a conversion of the Royal Anglican Regiment for an infantry to a transport. Oh, okay. So that is correct. That's good. That's good to know. Thank you, Military Collectibles. Thank you very much. All right, so So we know that's correct now as well. That's good. So yeah, so this is the only one then that we're questioning. I don't even know what way it's actually shaped, if you get me, because is it worn? Because you can actually, like, you can see this bit here is flat, as in it's nearly worn. I'd say to the side, and then just pulled one way. No, it's too small for me, so I don't know what way it's actually worn. And the lining as well, and it is, yeah, it's an interesting one. Sort of folds like that over the back. So early reenactments in the UK destroyed a lot of era kit. The BR. I know what that BRA stands for, I guess. Oops, that's the 158 Regiment RLC. Oh, okay, perfect. So that's correct anyway. That, so we know we've everything else sorted, bar this. Now those swords as well look they look Middle Eastern. That's why I'm going. That's why I'm going towards a Middle Eastern country. It could be a bring back from Kuwait even. I'm from the Kuwaiti army or Gulf War One or something. I don't have a clue. Uh, 8 U.S. Army Force Short World War Two period. Oh, it's World War Two period. Fucking, it's a good short for World War Two period, or is it just a badges World War Two period? Just a tip, guys, as well. If any of you ever get uniforms, always check the pockets, because you'd be surprised what you find in the pockets of stuff. Yeah, the badge does look. The badge has obviously been stitched onto it, but it's broke free of its stitches there at the bottom. I don't know whether we'll restitch it or take it off altogether. But it is a World War Two shirt, so that's fantastic. There we go. Where are we going? Isn't it an Iraqi red beret of the Republican Guard? Ralph, I don't know. I really don't know. I I don't know what it could be. Could that red beret be military police? Sorry, interested. Dropped out. Is I probably am behind on the comments. Um, I don't think it's it could be military police, but it's not military police from an army that I'm used of. And like this again, you can actually see around the cap badge where the felt has actually left a mark on the actual beret. So I don't know. I do not know, but it definitely looks Arabic writing on it. Echo, how are you? Foxtrot, how are you? It definitely looks Arabic. Any Gulf War veterans on tonight that might wonder? The wonders I have found in pockets, sweatbands of hats, equipment pouches, all part of the thrill of the hunt. Yeah, um, as I said, always check pockets, sweatbands, pouches, anything. Even at shows, I know guys that have been at shows and they've gone through boxes of webbing. They didn't want the webbing, but they've gone through boxes of webbing, checking the pockets and checking each individual thing. And then if they find something worth finding, they're like, "How much you want for the pouch? Fiver? Yeah, yeah, no problem." And don't tell them what's in the a little underhanded, but don't tell them what's in the pouch. Andrew, how are you? And you hate working late evening? Well, we're here anyway. We're all chilling around. We've just been talking in relation to some equipment that came in, some berets. Um, Now I actually wanted to do this. That's a brass badge, I think, and this is the stay bright. Yeah. So if you see the difference there between a brass badge and a stay bright badge, I don't know if it'll come up good in the camera. The brass badge, which is on the beret, is more goldy than the Stay Bright. Now, the cover for this should be coming with hello, hello, hello. What's going on here then? Well, the military police normally don't say that. But the cover for this should be coming with the red cover should be coming with the helmet liner or the helmet insert or the helmet liner for the First World War one that we're doing, redoing. Bus, train tickets, era treasures. Yeah, they could be found as well. I joined 163 RLC whilst in the RUC. Okay, as a means to escape, and I went over to England. Very good. That's one way to do it. Uh, why do you want to be so hated by soldiers? Why do you want to be so? I don't want to be hated by soldiers, but I'm trying to put together because if any of you study or if any of you information or know anything about the military police in Northern Ireland, the military police actually control Belfast city centre, and they would wear the peak caps with the red covers on checkpoints, but they would also there's also pictures of them wearing red berets as well and stuff like that. And they were also involved in bomb blasts that a soldier was injured or a soldier was killed or stuff. They had to go out and investigate it all the way. So that's what I'm trying to do. Is I'm actually trying to put together a mannequin or an impression for a Royal Military Policeman in Northern Ireland. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not 100% military police, and then I've gotten sidetracked as well because I've actually started putting together a World War II American military police uniform as well. Just there is actually a video coming up this weekend of my US. I was going to put it up last weekend, but then I said no. I'd end up flogging people with videos. So I've got it lined up for this Sunday, and it's just it's a view of how my American World War II collection has grown from somebody who didn't collect it, but by getting swaps and guys going here, I don't want this anymore, take it. It's gotten huge. So yeah, so I need to do that now. So that's coming up Sunday. The military police say you're nicked, not you, my old beauty. Either that or just give you a belt with a baton across the back of the head. Most Arab berets have small circle-like badges. Budapest Party national, i.e., flag. Syrian, Egyptian, all have eagles on theirs. I or G are red, but it's not that one. Yeah, I might do a Google search later on. If I could take a picture of it and see, can I do a Google search on it? And we'll see what happens. Andrew Monkeys. Brian, it was a reserve movement regiment based in. Well, yeah, well, I mean, if it got you out, if it got you out of there, got you out of there. Like my semi team green jacket mate still has views on the military police. Most infantry guys have views on military police. I was RLC for a while too, not called the really large corps for nothing. You know, their Royal Logistics Corps is huge. David Getaway. Ralph, are there any letters on the red beret of the snake? There are, but it's Arabic. If you look at that scroll, that whole scroll at the bottom is Arabic. Can we pick it out there? Well, I think it's Arabic writing, and the swords are actually engraved. RMP would have accommodated myself in RUC along with the infantry on patrols. Would have accompanied the RUC in RUC along with the infantry and patrols in the 90s. They did. The RUC did do a lot of course, the RUC did patrols, but the Royal Military Police did patrols as well. But they were most famous for controlling Belfast city centre. I could be wrong, but that's what I know them for, was controlling Belfast city centre. And it was the first time as well that you would see females on checkpoints, was Royal Military Police. And if any of you don't know the history, they literally cordoned off Belfast city centre to try and stop the violence, bombs, shootings, things like that. And they literally had pedestrian gates and a vehicle checkpoint, and they were all manned by the Royal Military Police. Didn't always work, unfortunately. There was people still killed in Belfast city centre, but that's what they try to do. And that if you ever look up stuff about the Troubles and the Royal Military Police, that's famously what you will see them do. Brian, who's Brian saying a lot? Oh, Andrew. Well, Brian, how are you? And the Royal Military Police too, as well in the north, were mainly armed with Sterlings rather than SLRs. Whenever you see them in photos or anything like that, of course they were all NCOs. There was none of them privates. They were all NCOs from corporal and above. Um, you see them all. They're all armed with Sterlings rather than SLRs and things like that. But that's their parade in as well, obviously. I get a shudder down my spine every time I put it on. So yeah. But the raid of the military police is famous, really, from most armies. Their military. I know in the Irish army they wear red berets as well. Remember the RMP on gates in Belfast in the 70s? Yeah, that's what they were famous for, was doing the Belfast City Centre. This is actually coming up on a video as well. Um, Somebody asked me to do a mannequin, but that's the female equivalent of the bit of fluff on it. That is the female equivalent of the RUC cap. They were known as birds' nests, but that is the female. That uniform will be coming up on a mannequin in parade. Um, yeah, I can't wear it because it doesn't fit, but I shouldn't be wearing it anyway. It's size 55. But that's the female military or female RUC caps. Uh, where have we gone? The snake and the staff on the cap badge are usually associated with medical units. They are actually usually associated with medical units. Um, what's the name of it? It's Greek. It's Greek. Is that type of thing? But I can't remember what the it's a Plato staff or something like that. I'm not sure. Am I right in thinking that there aren't any privates in the RMP? No. Most military police, the Irish military police as well, there's no privates. They're all corporals and above. They get their rank after they pass their provost marshal's course. I know I'm not sure about the British Army, but definitely in the Irish Army. They're all lance corporals after training. Oh, sorry, they start off as lance corporal. Oh, okay. Um, where have we gone? Echo. Right. Okay. It's so they have the authority to lift folks. Yeah. They have. They. It's strange. I don't know how it works in the British military police, but in the Irish military police, um, to be arrested, you have to be the same rank as. So that's why they're all corporals, is because normally they're dealing with the riffraff of the lads of a Friday or a Saturday night. But we say if you were an infantry sergeant, to be arrested, it has to be the equivalent rank. So it has to be a military police sergeant that arrests you. Now, a military police corporal can hold you and question you, but to actually press charges, it has to be the same rank. I don't know if it's the same in the British Army, but that's how it works in the Irish Army. I think, I'm not 100% sure. Where have we gone? If you depict the RMP, your dress and behaviour, has to be spot on. They had to nick people and dress in enforcements, so there had to be flawless. Yeah, that's it exactly. If they're going to nick a lad for or give out to a guy for having not being properly dressed, you have to be immaculately dressed. That cap badge looks like, similar to some that I've seen. Oh, okay, maybe it could be. We'll check. We'll start checking there anyway. That's the medical logo. Yeah, you're right, Kenny. Thanks very much. Some of the RAF police all start as corporals after passing out police basic training. I don't know how their British military police work, but the Irish military police anyway, they do what is called the Provost Marshal's course, um, which is basically military law and stuff. And I think that's a long enough course. That's 6 months long, and then they actually do a tactical phase, whereas they have to deal with prisoners because they deal with prisoners of war and things like that. Um, so they do a tactical phase on that, and they do a bodyguards course as well, if I remember. They're involved in personal protection of the president and stuff like that in Ars Nocturne, so they do actually do presidential or protection type training and stuff like that. Uh, went to the RGJ, the Royal Green Jackets display. They had a bugler playing high on a hill, superb until the RMP spotted it by dragging the soldier off. On public display was the Westminster Barracks blocks for false now. Yeah, there's some military police lads, and you're looking at them and you're going, "Have you a brain in your head?" I can remember all of us one day piling off a truck after coming back from an exercise, and we had a military police guy start shouting at us because none of us had our berets on. We all looked like we'd been pulled through bushes sideways. Um, it's crazy. Some of them don't have brains in their head. I know a Lance Corporal in the Adjutant General's Corps was a wild man for making monkeys noises when he saw Royal Military Police Falklands Islands 1994. Yeah, we used to call them cherry berries when you see him. Hey, cherry berry! Or if lads were walking past as well, we call them bulls. The lads, you'd hear military police lads calling them bulls, or we call them bulls, or cherry berries. And then the lads then in slang I'd be talking about it like, Jesus, I'd love a cherry sandwich, or I'd love it. Uh, I had cherries the other day and it gave me an awful indigestion or something like that. They'd be slag talking. Because the military police knew that they were called cherries as well, or cherry berries. Um, but yeah, and for guys too as well, an awful lot of guys that I know, to join the military police was a way to get out of the infantry because in the Irish Army you have to join a combat unit arm. You have to be infantry, artillery, or cavalry for 2 years before you can branch off to do anything else. And some guys literally just wanted out of the infantry, so they would join the Royal Military Police or they would join the military police. Shanahan C for your Shanahan C for your RMC collection, RUC collection. Do you have epaulets? They are really hard to find. As in the epaulets up here, I have numbers on a tunic, a dress tunic. I have the guys' original numbers, but I don't have the stitched ones for the shirts. I don't actually have any. Yes, you are correct. They are very, very hard to find. Um, Russia had no military police until 2011. Police rules were done by the commander's service, more of a decision than a branch designation than a branch. They dealt with traffic and import dress. Okay, that's interesting to know. So they didn't have. Well, then again, they did have the KGB and stuff like that. So I mean, you wouldn't really step out of line anyway. During the 1970s, do the funky given was the goodies was a favorite song or hymn to them. Oh, they said they would sing that to the military police. Quite funny actually. Do you also have objects from the Yugoslavian civil war in the 90s? I have one or two bits and pieces. I have Chechenian stuff. I have, or not Chechenian. I have Serbian, Croatian, and Croatian, and I have something else actually. I've only a small few bits and pieces. I have the red flag with the black eagles. Um, that I was given that. I have uh, patches, things like that I got from guys that were there. Where have we gone? For RUC. What do you mean for RUC? The epaulets for RUC. Yeah, I have a dress uniform for the RUC where his guy's got his number on the epaulets. I got I got a World War II Brazilian garrison cap. Fantastic. Um, you were actually in Brazil, aren't you? Infantryman production. The Triple Echo is a great film. Oliver Reed from 1970s about the RMP brutality. I must look up that. You had the famous one as well with James Bond, The Hill. That was a bit brutal as well, where they had him running up and down the hill. The epaulets go into the green RUC shirt, dark green cloth. I have a set or two in my lockers. Oh, give us a shout, Brian, as an email if you want, and we can discuss business because I don't have any. And if you have other RUC stuff that you're willing to pass on, let me know because I'm always interested in getting RUC stuff. The one thing that I am actually after, that I've been after for years, and every time I try and get one, somebody spots it and the price goes through the friggin' roof, is the old 1970s. It used to be a motorbike helmet. The Cork helmet that they jerry rigged visor stuff. I've been after one of them for years and I still can't get one. The RMP are okay. It's the SIB, the Central Intelligence Bureau. I think that's who they're called. That scared me. The original Men in Black. Yeah. Here as well, they're called when. God, I can't think of the name of them. They're called SIB in England. Here, there's something like the internal security section or something like that. I think that's what they're called. Worth getting a Yuko Maston water bottle combo, a nice piece of camping equipment. I did for some reason in Ireland when the the Yugoslavian stuff, the Eastern European stuff, wasn't very popular. It was always the American or the British stuff. Um, yeah, whenever I think about it now, going into military surplus store, it's always American and British stuff that you will come across. Um, West German stuff was very very popular during the 80s. But yeah, where are we going now? David's sniffer dog in the locker's time. You think to make IRA kit from 1919? I could do it. It's easy enough to. I used to portray it for schools and stuff like that. Um, I don't know actually. Would guys like me to do an IRA impression from the time of the War of Independence or the Civil War? Let me know, and I'll think about doing it. But I don't want to be getting political side of things as well. But I could do it, I suppose. Yeah, I know a Dutch veteran who saw Croats in Dot 44 SS camo in the former Yugoslavia original stuff from World War Two. Yeah, an awful lot of stuff during the Yugoslavian War, an awful lot of stuff came out of the friggin' woodwork. If you look at the photos, Eastern European, German stuff, everything and anything came out of the woodwork. I remember Vietnam era kits sold well in the 80s. Yeah, it did as well actually. The M65 jackets were very very popular to have here as well, and there were lots of odd types in the Balkan unpleasantness. Yeah, there was a huge amount of craziness. All civil wars are messy, messy, messy. Traffic roll was considered most deadly for Soviet soldiers as they were likely to be hit by convoys, swept to death in leather motorcycle uniforms, swept to death in leather motorcycle, or forgotten and froze to death in the winter. Yeah, that sounds like a rough job to have. Podrick, yes, I will have a look. The good stuff comes up when someone retires and are hidden in lockers. Yeah. Um, I have a friend of mine actually, and he's was a builder, and there was a firm from the south that got the contract to demolish the H blocks, and he's got like three or four cell doors from the H block, which is quite funny. But he's got three or four cell block doors. He's got Oh, artwork that was on walls. He's literally cut the whole plaster off of walls and managed to save it somehow. He's got a lot of stuff like that. Huge pieces. I mean, not small little pieces, but massive pieces. He's got an entire Sanger that he can put it together. If what a Sanger is, it's a lookout tower, and if you look at those lookout towers, there's like metal gates or metal fencing around the front of the glass, and it was designed to explode rockets before they actually hit the main Sanger. But he's got those sections as well. Crazy stuff he has. It would be great to see Civil War gear from previous of the South. My auntie was from Cork. I can do, lads. I will do if you want. I will do an early war, early IRA impression fee. We're talking 1916, 1919, around that era. Where have we gone now? No, 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 not the brown walls. No, he didn't keep the brown walls. They were washed, I think, by that stage. Where have we gone? Yes, I'll have a look for stuff. Would be great. Okay, lots of DDR raindrop was worn by the Croats. Yeah, there was lots of stuff worn. Uh, British or American and British camouflage was worn as well. There's there's a documentary actually on YouTube about Dogs of War or something like it's called about British mercenaries going over fighting for. I think they were fighting for the Croats. I'm not sure who they were fighting for. Um, I'm almost positive it's on YouTube. Yeah, none of them. Where are we going? Brazil had like 20 civil wars. Yeah, Brazil had an awful lot of crap going on. Was given a bundle for Brett, which of any use to anyone. Not my area collection. Nick, give me an email. Um, Panzer Grenadier. If give me an email, and if it's no good to you, I'm sure some of the lads can email me if they want to, if they're happy with getting it. Stan might be interested in something that be like something interest Stan would be interested in. But give me an email anyway. I gave you an email actually today, Nick, in relation to the roadie gear, if I remember correctly. Where have we gone now? One of the most famous was Brazil against the state of Sao Perno. Was the first war that Brazil used airplanes. Really nice kit. I will do it after my World War II impression. Okay, very good. Um, I've still got stuff I bought back from Bosnia. It's all in a box somewhere. Yeah, hold on to that kit. John Lennon once wore an American uniform coat from the 60s. He did actually. Um, the Beatles were famous for wearing uniforms. They used to wear the red tunics as well of the guards division, whichever one of them was they could get their hands on, but they were famous for wearing them as well. Echo I. A lot of my collection is from retired RUC men. I found an RUC Christian Police Association Bible in my grandfather's drawer and was given a PSNI Bible as a present. Very cool. Yeah, see, I'm down south, nearly the other end of the country, and I do have connections up north. But for guys that are up there, it's a lot easier for them to pick up stuff than it is for me. You speak the Irish language. I do speak Irish. Yes, I can speak Irish. Do good comes to to Len Scalagot. Len Scalagot. And most of the other lads now are going, ah, Podrick might understand me, but the rest of you be going, what the hell is he have to say? Where have we gone? The Croats did nasty line of Woodland, camo garments. An awful lot of the American stuff was over there as well. The ERDL and Woodland and things like that. There was an awful lot of that was snuck over there. I've just bought an Irish DPM jacket. We'll be doing a review of it on my channel. Not a fan of the term petty flash. It's on Wiki. They say the soldiers called it. Is that yeah? We call it petty flash. It's called petty flash. Um, it's proper name is DPM or Irish DPM, but it was known. It's always been known as Paddy Fledge. Give me a bell if you want to. Drop us an email, Jim, if you want information on it, and I can show you. If you even if you have pictures of the ones you have, I can tell you what pattern it is. They're slightly different patterns. There's one made by Syntex. There's one made by Port West. There's another one made by what's the other company? Can't remember the other company. But in general, they're all the same, but the camouflage is slightly different on the first and second patterns, and then the newer ones now. The actual chest pockets don't open. There's zip pockets on the inside here. Um, yeah. So look, let me know. We'll work it out for you. Uh, I know someone who fought for the Bosnians. His stories are odd, crazy, funny, and frightening. Yeah, there's some guys that I know some guys that have been in the French Foreign Legion and then went off and did other things in Africa. Ooh, scary when they start talking. Cracking that you can speak Irish. Do you understand this, Jim? Do you understand that? Well, I suppose it's Gaelic. It's the same. You probably would understand it. Okay, yeah, but yeah, I suppose I never thought of that. The Welsh, anyway. Well, I'd say you'd have more of a chance of understanding Irish compared to Welsh. She's I don't know how the Welsh. Like I've been to Wales a few times and I've heard them talking, and it's like they're down a well. It's a nice language, but Jesus, I wouldn't be able to learn it anyway. So Croatian battalions also wore iron crosses in the 1990s. They were associated with right wing. Yeah, like I mean, even if you go back to the Second World War, there was some yeah guys from the Balkan areas that were fought for Mr. Adolf. You had a famous one, I suppose, was the 12th SS Division. The guys that used to wear the fezzes. They came from the Balkans, I believe. Um, yeah, yeah, you have extremists everywhere, I suppose. The Italian garment industry made Croat garments as a civilian contract. Oh, okay. Didn't know that now. Mine's made by Syntex in Belgium. So that's the middle pattern, I believe. Yeah, just give me an email and we'll work it out. If you want, that is, and I'll be able to tell you a few bits and bobs in it. The first ones had what we used to call a pile plate. It was literally a piece of foam, and there was four fasteners on it, and it was a piece of foam now about the size of my screen, and it would sit. You could button it to the back of your back of your smock to sit on to keep you off the damp. But it was known as a pile plate. We used to call it a pile plate. But yeah, another interesting fact for you. Yeah, infantryman. I also like colonial wars. I maybe will do a Portuguese colonial soldier when Netherlands invaded my city. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. A lot of that stuff was very, very good. Um, I I need to start learning up more on the colonial wars and things like that. Um, I'll send you a few photos of an RUC officer going over a fence. Gertex, coat, Ruger, rifle, rucksack. The officer passed away recently. The photo should be in a book before my time. Yeah, that's fantastic. 13th SAS, sorry, or 13th SS, sorry, was the division. I mean, not the 12th. Thanks, Ralph. I apologize. Um, yeah, Brian, definitely. I love hearing stories about up banner and things like that. Um, so if you definitely give me an email and like that, if you have stuff that you're willing to trade or sell or whatever, give me a shout and we'll try and work something out. And if there's stuff here that you're interested in, we can maybe swap it or something like that. Uh, where have we gone? Andrew, we always had bits of uniform go missing from the laundry units in Bosnia. Turned out that the locals employed by the army were pinching bits here and there. Yeah, we used to have guys as well in some of my tours that used to do laundry and kitchen work and things like that, locals. And like that, we expected stuff to go missing out of the kitchens, and we expected stuff to go missing out of the laundry and stuff like that. So we used to wash our own uniforms. We had our own washing machine and dryer. Well, you didn't really need to dry the stuff most of the time because the heat was there, but we had our own washing machine. So we literally take down our own uniform and wash our own uniform. and stuff like that. And then the likes of sheets, bed sheets, uh, blankets, quilts, all that type of stuff. They were all sent to the main laundry where the locals worked, and they would wash them. Um, so yeah, so it did happen. It was notorious for things like that happening. Military collectible is still there actually. I want to ask him a question if he's still there. If he's not, it's fine. John Lennon, How I Won the War movie is funny. Do I know it? I don't know actually John Lennon's movie. Must look it up. Um, Ralph, you were actually you do you collect German World War Two stuff as well? I know military collectibles. If he's around, he'd be able to answer the question. But I'm trying to because ye buggers are after me about getting German World War Two stuff, so as I can have the comparison between the British and the American stuff, or the British and the German stuff. Is I'm thinking of collecting, not collecting, but putting an impression together of the SS, just to have on a mannequin. Nothing else, just have on a mannequin that I can go, that's British, that's American, that's German. And I don't know where to start. And I don't even know, because I was doing a bit of research on it, and their uniforms change so many times, like this pattern 36, pattern 37, pattern 39, pattern 40, pattern 44. There's a huge amount of different uniforms. So I was trying to see which would be the main, what uniform I could get that would do the vast majority of the conflict. Where have we gone? You heard of the Triple Alliance War? I haven't actually, infantryman. Sorry, I haven't heard of that war. I'm back. Freaking Polish internet. um, Broadsword. Broadsword to anybody. Yeah. Um, yeah. I haven't heard of that conflict actually. Sorry, infantryman. I haven't heard of that conflict. The triple one. I must look it up. Uh, Infantry. Oh, okay. Are you still there? So, military collectibles. What uniform in German relation to do the SS would get you through the vast majority of the conflict? That is the question, because that is. I know Stan got, was it a pattern 44 tunic the other day for cheap enough off of Epic, I believe it was. I don't. I think all their stuff is sold out, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to put one together. Can I know what radio SS? Can I know what radio SS? I don't know what you mean by that, Andrew. It was the most brutal world war in the most brutal conflict in the war in the world before World War One. I definitely haven't heard of it. I must look it up. I was watching actually. I was working the other night and I was on nights and I had a bit of downtime and I went down a huge rabbit hole. I went down watching. I started off watching. I don't know what you call them, like a movie documentary about Gettysburg. And then every chance I looked after that, my suggestions box was something about Gettysburg. So then I went down another rabbit hole and I watched another one of those documentary movie type things on Shiloh. So for the last 3 or 4 days, any downtime I've had, I've ended up been watching stuff about the American Civil War. M65 jackets have gotten so expensive. I wanted one in the 1979 US soldier just to contract my Soviets to contract my Soviet stuff. Likely small ones are not ridiculous prices like medium and large ones. I can remember I had when I was in school in the late 80s, early 90s. I had an M65 jacket with Master Sergeant rank markings on it on both sleeves. I had the Airborne Cavalry patch on it, and it was original. And to this day, I bloody don't know what happened to it, and it drives me mental. Soldier of Fortune is your one-stop shop for all German stuff. A 1942 jacket would be suitable for 42 to the end of the war. Perfect. So that's what I will. That is the thing I will go down, and we will see how we get on. You fed I was feeding. I don't know what the hell I was feeding, but my brain was boggled from watching American Civil War stuff. But Military Collectibles, thanks for that answer. I'll definitely have. I'll give them a check out during the week actually and see what they have. And something that bite me in the nose. And have give them a look and we'll see what we come up with. Ralph, no, I've only wore books and World War Two movies and documents, one tank beret, and an original photographs of the Wehrmacht. Okay, but that's a fantastic collection to have. M65 combat jacket is my favorite casual jacket. Yeah, you can buy them now. There's people making copies of them, or an M43 jacket, which too seems to be popular patterns. Yeah, I'll definitely. I know. I somebody was telling me. I don't know who was telling me, or was it a video I was looking at? The Germans, because I'm doing or because I'm going to do an impression, or not an impression, it's going on a mannequin. I wouldn't wear it, but it's going on a mannequin of the SS. That when they had different tunics to the Wehrmacht. Their had Wehrmacht had 4 buttons, sorry, 5 buttons. They kept six or something like that. I must double check it. The 1960s DPM jacket is one of. Oh, where have we gone? The 1960s DPM jacket is one that has always evaded my collection, size 9. I don't know what size my one is. I must check it out actually. The M43 is better size, lower pockets. The M43 has better size, lower pockets. Oh, okay, I understand. I will buy an M41 jacket. I have two of them. Uh, I have two of them. They're both reproductions though. And they're coming up on that video on Sunday. So I have this one. This is the second division corporal. If you can see by the difference in it, there's actually a difference in the colours. One's lighter and darker. This did happen. It was whatever material that the manufacturers got. And this one is Rangers. That's known as the lozenge patch. There you go. I have an original light jacket as well somewhere. Glad I'm wearing shorts. Yeah, I'm melted. This is actually a sports top, and it's stuck to me. Absolutely stuck to me. I am wearing shorts. They're not just boxers, lads. They are shorts. Um, I'll be going for a walk now in a while after I finish this live. We'll give it another 10, 15 minutes, and we'll clock off for the night. Need to get more water anyway. As you can, I don't know if you can actually tell. I'm actually sweating in here. This room is bloody hot. So yeah, so they're coming up on a video on the weekend. Um, the video that's coming up at the weekend actually is my. I can tell you because it's already lined up. It's the collection of my World War Two American stuff that has bloody increased hugely um, at the moment. But yeah, so you've all gone quiet, lads. So we'll give it another 5 minutes if any of you have any more questions there, and we will um, call it a quits. Time for air conditioning in the man cave. Time for to cut the roof off the roof in the man cave and try and get something out. I'm researching project. Rosemark YouTube channels are investigating defense works in Poland because they think the Nazi gold train is in a mountain there. Oh, um, I watched a documentary there not so long ago about like that treasure hunters, and they believed that a train carrying Hitler's gold had ended up in a lake in, I think it was Norway. Norway, they were looking. The smell of warm kit. Oh, Yeah, smell of warm kit. It's very tasty. It's very nice in here, shall we say. Is the cat badge writing definitely Arabic or is it Hebrew? No, it's definitely Arabic. I know what Hebrew looks like. Actually, I'll give her a brush here and we'll see what happens. Because it's a bit graphic. Yeah, it's definitely Arabic. It's definitely Arabic. The gold train was never found. It was near a famous World War II German bunker, but it was proof that there was nothing there. Okay. Did you know that Brazil ended the war in Italy? 29th of April 1945, surrendering the 140th German Division more than. I knew that the German Mr. Shannon. Do you also have original World War II photographs in my possession? I don't have original photographs. I have copies. I don't actually have any original. I do. I used to have. I still have it somewhere. I have a mass card or a death card, pretty much, of a German soldier that I picked up in an antique shop in Poland. That's where I got it. When I was in Poland. Where have I gone now? Sorry, infantryman. I knew they had been in the Brazilian soldiers were involved in World War II, but I don't know much more about that. Not even the Bundeswehr would wear a beret that orange. No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't wear it that orange. The RUC, where have we gone? The RUC ceased to be in November 2001. We kept wearing the uniform until April 2022 or 2002. We were allowed to keep one uniform, i.e., tactical trousers, tie, shirt, hat, and keep as a keepsake. The rest was to be returned. I didn't know. I actually I've only ever seen them in museums. The tactical trousers. Normally, you see them wearing like the slacks, but I've never seen them. It's never ever seen the tactical trousers that they had. Um, but yeah, Brian, definitely, please, Brian, give me an email when you get a chance, uh, and we'll see what happens. Still kept a few other items. Sure, everybody does. I, I could when I handed back my kit in the army. I literally the lads raided my locker before I handed stuff back, and they were taking jackets and pantses and everything and anything, and whatever was left, I handed back then. I have a question. What is the most favorite item in your collection? It can be anything. The most favorite collection of my item. He's probably I won't say the favorite, but he's got the most. He's the soft spot. All my other mannequins, except for my RUC man, and except for him, changed because I got him as one complete piece, and he was based off a photograph, and he was pretty much what started my up banner collecting. So he would probably be my favorite, or my I suppose my most memorable piece was him. My favorite item that I have in Op Banner would have to be the flak jacket, the RUC flak jacket, because they're hard to get. I was going to say the F word. They're very hard to get. Um, my favorite collect piece from my collection in Vietnam would be my original uniform, original Australian Army uniform. Because obviously I'm in Ireland, Australia is far away. To have an original uniform here is fantastic. My World War II would probably be my caps for the Royal Ulster Rifles because it is unusual to have a side cap and a general service cap for the same regiment, original. Um, that would be my favorite from my World War II side. Where have we gone? Uh, where have we gone? I have a question. Okay, yeah, sorry, answer that one, Jim. No, Brazil sent 26,500, but they surrendered 20,000 Germans. Surrounded 20,000 Germans. That's fantastic. Bit of history there. I definitely infantrymen. I definitely will um, look up more on the Brazil stuff. 5 button tunics were unique to the SS, but they also wore Wehrmacht pattern 6 button surplus. Suppliers couldn't not keep up with the demand for the 5 button tunics, so it was common to see SS with 6. Okay, that's perfect. That's sound in military collectibles. Thank you, Brian. Lightweight trousers is that what they're called? Uh, I don't know. The ones that I've commonly enough seen are like the slack ones that you'd see like a normal dress pants. But I believe there was a tactical pair that the lads would blouse over their boots when they would wear the high ankle boots. Um, and they were tactical. And I think if I can remember, there was a pocket on one side of the leg. Um, I'm not 100% sure. David got to go. A curry is calling. Well, enjoy your curry. We'll see you until next time. Good hunting. Exactly, same to you. Andrew, go enjoy your curry. Brian, I regret handing back my ROC NATO pullover. The jumper, you mean? Yeah, they were showerproof, I think, weren't they? They were waterproof, if I remember. Or no, is it the PSNI ones that are showerproof? I'm not sure. Um, the NATO jumper is the wool jumper, if I remember correctly. I don't have one of them neither, actually. There are people who only collect death cards from the Germans if they fell in Normandy or Arnhem. They are spending 4 times the expense. I read that somewhere actually, Ralph, and somebody told me as well that the ones from Stalingrad, if the guy had passed away in Stalingrad, you can pretty much name your price on them. And then there's other guys then as well. If you have like a specific unit, like SS ones, uh, Fallschirmjäger ones, they have a premium price as well on them apparently. I hope the curry is not too hot. I had a Vietnam era flak jacket that I had to sell, but I loved it. I remember it was called Fragmentation. There's the American ones had a few. There was the rare flak jacket to get is the Marines version, the M53, I think it's called. Um, there's a guy actually on YouTube. Go check him out. Pepsi guy or something. I think is his name. Pepsi guy. He's fantastic on the Vietnam stuff. He's a reenactor, Vietnam reenactor and collector, and the stuff that he has is very good. Thinking to sell an ammo pouch that I don't know the ear of. Well, if you want to help with any Pepsi boy, that's the guy's name. Um, if you want to hand with trying to give me a photo of it, email it to me, and I'll email it to other guys and see can we figure it out what it is. I had a 1950s British Army woolly pulley that I gave away in 1990 with a dot worth of fortune and with cuts in the shoulders for the epaulets. I actually have one. I have one up there. I have a woolly pulley. Lightweight patrols had the side pockets or wore them up with the army. Oh, okay, perfect. Um, uh, were they not dark? Were they not the same colour as the PSNI uniform though, or the REC uniform? I'm not sure. Did the lads dye them themselves? Ralph, the blue ribbon on the Royal Ulster Rifles uniform behind you. This up here. It's not Royal Ulster Rifles. That's Ulster, the French regiment. But yeah, you're the ribbon on his shoulder. Where have we gone? There's that ribbon. That ribbon. This ribbon here. They're on about. Let's move on this one. Oh, don't fall. This ribbon here is Northern Ireland service ribbon. It's a campaign ribbon. You see them. That's the generic British Army. You see that same ribbon as well, but it could be for the Gulf War. It could be for for the Gulf War 1 or whatever. It depends on the bear that's on it. But that one is for Northern Ireland. and he is actually Royal Ulster Rifles or Ulster Defence Regiment is what he is. Where have we gone? Look up Brent on here. Yeah, I've watched him as well. Actually, Brent. He's a Marine veteran, if I remember correctly. He does comparison videos of camouflage uniforms and stuff like that. Nick, the Brett badge is Sultan of Oman. Did you just spend the entire evening, Nick, googling that to try and figure out what it is? It's Sultan of Oman? Okay. Dutch, how are you? Welcome. We're actually clocking off now soon, Dutch, but we'll stay for another small bit. All right, later. My mail. It's tour. Where's he gone? What's tour email? He's running hard. Okay, have a good one anyway. Medical the Brett badge. Okay, perfect. So Nick has been doing research for us and has found out that is Oman. Very good. So now we've figured out what everything is. Where have we gone? Like the GS medals usually for Northern Ireland and Ally uniforms, green and blue. Yeah. This is that was their dress uniform. I'm not going to go into too much detail because there is a mannequin on parade coming up on it, but it was their dress uniform, and it's rifle green pants, standard, what most units call their number 2 dress tunic, white belt, and beret shirt, cream shirt, and tie. Israel M64 flak jacket is an identical copy of the American M52. I used to buy them from dealers PG Wing for £5. I mean, there's some fantastic. The Israeli ones. I actually have. I might do actually a video on them sometimes. I actually have a collection. I need to get them. They're actually upstairs or not upstairs, up in the attic. They're actually in a box. I have every single Israeli beret from every unit in the Israeli army. I think there's like 16 or 17 of them. I'll do a video on that sometime. Kenny, I did say Oman earlier because of the sword style. Yeah, you're right. Yes, look, it took a while. So, yeah. Nick, fair play to you for your patience. Fair play to you. Awesome collection that you have. You should done an hour long plus video on the whole lot. Fantastic. I this for those of you that are new subscribers. This room here, this is actually the War Room Mark II. I did have a different war room, but I'm having reconstruction and stuff done with my house. So after hopefully Christmas, when the building and stuff is done, we will be moving into a purpose-built facility, which is 10 foot by 20 foot square, triangle, whatever you want to call it. With this, and when all this is laid out correctly, shadow boxes and up on the walls and stuff like that, we'll have a proper tour, and we will show you things around the place. So you're talking about the Israeli berets. I can do a video on them. I will do a video on them. I have to get them down though. I have met Sultan of Oman at Newmarket races. Well, Kenny, can you ask him why the hell didn't he make his badges easier to find out what the hell they were? So I have one of his berets if he's looking for it. The lightweight trousers was replaced by 511 tactical trousers from the USA use for PSNI. Oh, okay. That's very good. That's interesting to know. So is the PSNI stuff all 511 then? Which, look, you don't have to answer that question. Well, guys, we've been on for an hour and 34 minutes, so we're going to call it quits for the night. It is now 20 to 10. So I will leave you for the weekend. I hope you have a safe weekend. I hope you enjoy your weekends. Happy days collecting. I hope you enjoy your collecting and you get stuff over the weekend. There will be a video up Sunday. Don't forget to talk to everyone and see everyone. And if you've got friends that might be interested in the stuff, don't tell them about the live streams of a Friday and the video content. Put them in connection with the likes of Military Collectibles. There, anyone else, Jim, I think has a video channel as well. Anyone that has a video channel that comes on my live streams, make sure you all pass the word and we all subscribe to each other. Keep the information going, lads, and I will see you all next Friday, same time, 8 o'clock. So have a good one, and I will see you again.